reveal the speech order. We have 3 contestants, judges. Our first contestant is Mike Carter. Our second is Roger Julie. And our third is Shirley Thomas. Just one more time real quick. Contestant 1 is Mike Carter. 2 is Roger Julie. 3 is Shirley Thomas. Okay, without further ado, let's bring up our first contestant, Mike Carter. They'll never forget. They'll never forget Mike Carter.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of an awesome trip. How I took the Carter family out on a cruise ship. Friends, fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guest, and anyone who's ever thought about planning the trip of a lifetime, a cautionary tale for you of why if you're going to plan the trip of a lifetime, it is important you stick to the plan. My wife, Karen, she is a perpetual planner. And when our 4 boys were still quite young, they're stair-stepped at about 2 years apart. I have Michael, Nicholas, Thornton, and David. She said, when Michael turns 16, we should take a family vacation, a trip of a lifetime, a trip they'll always remember. This is a story how my decisions made that a trip they'll never forget. She procured the passports, purchased the passage, and we had an itinerary that was full, and we were on a cruise ship. This is one of those all-you-can-eat buffet things where you go on as a passenger and you come off as cargo. We had lots of fun. We had all this laid out, but she wanted to make sure the boys and I felt like we were included in the decision-making. So when it came to the Dominican Republic, she said, you know what, I'm going to let you guys choose the shore excursion. We can either go to the Casa de Campo, a luxury compound. It was featured on Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. We'll go there and spend the day. It'll be great. Or we can go to the Rum Factory tour. Michael Ryan, 16 at the time, pointed out to his brother Thornton, the legal drinking age in the Dominican Republic is 12. You can bet what the boys voted for. Well, she spoke to me about the finances of this trip, and it was going to be $65 a person for the shore excursion. Now, I'm a thrifty guy. That's spelled C-H-E-A-P. I said, honey, tell you what, why don't you let me handle the transportation? I think I can get us on a local bus for about $3 a person. We'll save about $300. Now, $300 is enough for her to bend her plans a little bit. And, you know, I can handle this. I speak a little Spanish. So it was decided. And we went on the shore excursion. We came off the ship that morning, and it was a perfect day. The trade winds were blowing. You could see the palm trees swaying, and the salt was in the air. It was about 78 degrees. Oh, we were ready. And there was this beautiful motor coach that was going to take the shore excursion to the Rum Factory tour. It wasn't our bus. We had to walk up into town and get on Main Street and catch the local bus, which was a beat-up old Bluebird bus. But it was fine. We'd saved a lot of money. So I piled my kids onto the bus, and as soon as you stepped on the bus, the odor of unwashed bodies and pigs and chickens and the cacophony of different sounds you heard was really an eye-opener for us. But we sat down. There was a lady with a big wide-brimmed straw hat with little dingleberries and colorful tops. It was really an eye-opening experience for my kids. And we rode the 30 miles up and down the hills to the town of San Pedro. We'd come from La Romana to San Pedro, and we got off the bus. And when we got off the bus, we found we were in a valley. And we were a little further inland. And it wasn't the trade winds blowing. It was really pretty hot. The tropical sun was beating down, and I realized why that lady had a hat. Well, about this time, I knew we had a 1.5 mile walk to get to where we needed to go, and somebody forgot the map. Honey, I kind of remember, and we just go down this way. Well, we walked, and the tempers started getting a little hotter as the temperature went up. And finally, we made it to the rum factory, and blessed relief. We were in the shade, it was nice and cool, and air conditioning in the shop. We did the tour, and then what the boys were all looking forward to, the sample. A liquid fire. Rum was great when you haven't had anything. Well, I bought the obligatory bottle of rum, and then we exited the rum factory, and it was blazing hot. It was really, really hot. We felt like lizards trying to get from spot to spot for shade. And there came the tour bus. They were all coming off in air-conditioned comfort. Meanwhile, we had about a 1.5 mile walk in the heat. When who should come along? This guy drives up right in front of us, opens the door, and says, "La Romana!" I forgot all about stranger danger. We piled the family into the van. Now, this was completely off the plan. My wife is looking at me with eyes the size of dish plates because this was nowhere in our plan. But we got in the van, and it wasn't until I had my family all sitting down inside that I realized there was nothing in this van. No carpeting, no side panels, no windows. There was a windshield and an odometer that's had over 300,000 miles on it. But I gave the guy $20, La Romana, and we were on our way. And the first thing he did was drive about 2 blocks and stopped at a gas station where he purchased $1 of gas. And while we are waiting, a crowd of 25, 30 people gather, and they start putting their hands on the inside of the van. Some of them had big machetes. And my wife is freaking out, and my son is going, "We're all going to die." The other 2 are saying, "We can take them." At that time, the van starts. The van gets going, and he goes back up over the first hill and turns the van off. And it rolled down the hill. And back up the next hill. And he starts the van up just as it ran out of steam, and he gets to the top of the hill, and he did this to save gas. He got to the town of La Romana, but we were still about 4 miles away from the ship when he promptly stopped the van, opened the door, and said, "La Romana," and motioned for us to get out. Well, we had a long walk ahead of us, and we got out, and now my wife is steaming, as you might imagine. I said, "Well, come on, we got a long walk." We walked, and then a cab came up, and a man with an official placard looked at us and said, "What are you doing in this neighborhood? It's not safe here. Get in my car." We got in the car, got back to the ship, and we made it home safely. But you should always remember, if you plan a trip of a lifetime, stick to the plan, or it may be a trip they'll never forget.
1 minute of silence